Scorpio, my rough Jack Baba want to say hi. Very insistent for attention. And actually, while he's here, I want to mention something to you. Little Bruno, he got a bit of an infection because we live in a very sort of country-like area, and he actually ate a what do you call those things? You know, like those nappies that you buy in the shop, that somebody literally put out in a, like, just sort of like dumped across the road. So I don't know if they drove past and they just threw it out their window or what it is. So you can imagine the scene that I got when I came across it, but then it made him really, really sick. And I would just like to remind you that, maybe what's happening here? I would just like to remind you that, you know, what you have or what you do has an impact on the collective consciousness of life. So let's be mindful of what we do, okay? I think in consciousness, let's hope that it calms down now. But you know, you are reminded in consciousness, just before I get into your November reading, because that's what I'm doing for you, Scorpio, that what we put out is what comes back to us. We are all part of the same essence of life. We are all sort of the same expression of life. So the time has definitely come to move past things of like, oh, it's just a dog, oh, it's just a cat. I mean, one of my main reasons for actually keeping fish tanks is to help create awareness of responsible pet keeping, for example, because fish are some of the pets that suffer the most by the hands of humans. With all of that being said, Scorpio, welcome to your reading for November. Remember that when we look at these general readings, it's like a lot of messages placed on a canvas. There are millions of Scorpios in the world, so only take what resonates for you and leave the rest behind. Okay? So let's see, what are some of the influences in your life at the moment? What are some of the things that you want to pay attention to? Some of the things that are impacting you at this particular point in time. And I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. Stepping away from challenges, stepping away from fear, stepping away from other people's ideas of who it is that you should be, you know? You know the thing that people have, oh, I'm so disappointed in you because, long story short, you didn't live up to my expectations. You didn't live up to what it is that I needed for you to be. Fuck you, this is your life, you know? There were some expectations that some of you placed upon yourself, and goodness me, have you suffered because of that. You know, because there was the idea that you should live your life in a certain way, and many of you really, really tried it and it didn't work until you realize, you know what, this is my life and I'm going to live it my way. There's some changes that some of you have made in your life, some movements that you have made, some physical movements, maybe some physical changes that may have been very, very challenging initially, because I feel that for some of you, you were so fed up with the way that life was going that you manifested so much bigger for yourself, you know. And sometimes that can actually lead us into a space where we manifest amazing things for ourselves. But when you get it, it's initially so overwhelming. So some of you were reaching with that pressure of really getting your heart's desires, but maybe haven't fully realized quite how extreme your heart's desires are. But there's beautiful integration that's taking place for you in this current space during November, where there's balance coming about, emotional balance, spiritual balance, mental balance, life balance, everyday balance, maybe new opportunities for you to meet someone new or do something new with someone new, like a new relationship, could be a friendship. But this is also in other aspects in your life where you want peace and you want prosperity and you want calm and relaxation. That is coming about for you. You know, there's a beautiful opening of the mind, and that is as a direct result, as an opening from the heart. So for many of you, you opened your heart and you felt, oh my goodness, this feels so treacherous. Do I even dare keep my heart this open? What you doing, Baba? Do I even dare keeping my mind so open? But you know what you needed to realize, and this was part of your preparation, for the fact that there's a lot of things that you are releasing, a lot of cycles have come to an end. You are going into the next cycle of prosperity, you know. And for some of you, you needed to experience certain things, you know. Doors needed to close in order to be open to the idea that there might be other doors. Because sometimes we're getting so comfy in life, even when we don't like where we are, we become very comfy with where we are because we become very familiar with where we are. And then we don't realize that there's more, there's bigger, there's better. You know what I'm saying? Energy going forward for you, especially into December. New things, new opportunities, possibly new love, or sort of like tying up loose ends. You know, maybe love has been a little bit all over the place for you. I see you being less tense than what you normally are. You know, so maybe you can be very tense with yourself, very rigid with yourself sometimes. You know, that must be like this, must be like that. And then even sort of projecting that onto others. So feeling a certain way, observing other people, then acting in accordance with that. Remember, we are reflecting outwards what is happening inside of us, all right? It's a good thing to always remember that. And remember that we live in a universe of dual possibility. If this is true, then that the direct opposite must also be true. But what I feel for some of you, and yes, it might feel like I'm pulling you over the coals a little bit here at the moment, but some of you really need to hear this. That you might believe that other people felt a certain way about you and projected them onto you, when sometimes it was just plain simply not the case. You know, remember, people don't really care too much about other people unless it really relates directly to you. And you, Scorpio, you are this beautiful person that want to be there for everyone, and that want to help everybody grow, and that want to help everybody heal. But you can only help people who want to be helped, because just because a formula worked for you, and this is a lesson I had to learn the very hard way in my job, in what I do, because I love to help people. But I had to accept that not everybody is ready for my help. Some people are very happy to sit and stew in their misery. Let them sit and stew in their misery. Okay? Let them sit and stew in their misery. Don't try to change people's minds. Don't try to show them the light if they don't want to see the light. If they don't want to see the light, they don't want to see the light. All right? The only thing that you can do is hold yourself back. And you also would hold yourself from giving the beautiful knowledge, guidance, help, and support that you have available from those that would appreciate getting it from you. Okay? So let's look at that direct influence at the moment. Let's get some more clarity on that. You are ready for new beginnings. Things are coming to an end for you. Cycles are ending. We spoke about this already. You got the world twice. In your direct energy, as well as the influence on your current energy, things are shifting in a different direction for you in a very, very good way. Did I show you these cards? I can't remember. I suppose there's no harm in showing them twice. I don't think I showed them to you. But you know, there are new things that are coming about. There's new balances that's coming about. There's new ways for stability coming about. A lot of you are suffering in your current life because you are considering everybody before you consider yourself. You can consider everybody as long as you consider yourself first. Follow my golden rule in life, because saying no has been something that I would literally stress myself straight into a stomach hernia, basically, from not being able to say no to things that I know I should be saying no to. All right? So here's my golden rule. I will say yes to anything in life as long as I don't say no to myself. All right? Even with a fish tank. A lot of people say to me, Adrian, you cannot have a fish tank in the background of your readings. What about the reflections? Get yourself a big angel, get yourself some crystals. Not what I want to do. And there's still some other things that I want to do, which include like some plants and stuff like that. You know, I remember back in the day, I saw the background of Sasha Bonison, who does amazing, amazing work in, I think he still does weekly readings, I'm not too sure. I don't look at readings too much because I don't want my channeling to be infiltrated by what subconsciously I've seen, so I don't look at readings really. But I said I like this, and this is how I would do it, and that's how we can inspire one another. You just because people believe this is how you should do stuff, you can honor, value everything them what they believe, but it doesn't mean that you have to do it yourself. Your life is about you. I am going to forever remind you about it. Your life is about you. You want to consider everybody else, but your life is ultimately about you. And what's happening for you at the moment? What's happening in December? Amazing stuff. New beginnings. Some of you are finally being, I wouldn't say seen, but acknowledged for your worth. Maybe you're at work and you're trying to graph away and it's not working and you're like, are these people even seeing me? Do these people even notice that I'm here? Maybe if I just fall off the wayside, they won't even notice that I'm gone. You've been noticed. You have been noticed. And some people have been observing you, and they have been observing you and thinking, you know, maybe there's something new that's coming up. I feel for many of you, like a promotion or a new thing. And they're trying to see, are you the right person for that? How do you deal under pressure? What do you like when you're sort of, you know, like your horn isn't blown all the time, when the pressure is turned on? You know, and I feel that you've passed all the tests with flying colors. Definitely. Energy going forward, particularly into December. A lot of you felt that you had to work really, really hard. And maybe for a while you had to. You know, work really, really hard to make ends meet, to feel that you are, as a human being, contributing to this life. And for many of you, you needed to have that experience. Because maybe that's all you got at the time about yourself. For many of you, you had to see almost the futility of overworking yourself and overwhelming yourself and overcompensating. And when I say overcompensating, I mean sort of like, you know, overcompensating in a very unbalanced sort of way. You work yourself halfway to death, and then you say, okay, I've been doing so well, things have been so hard, I've been starving, I hardly had any food or money to travel or whatever. I'm going to compensate myself now with a 5 liter. I don't really know what that is. I think it's about a gallon. A gallon, I think, is about 4.5 liters, if I remember correctly. You know, I'm gonna reward myself with a 5 liter of wine. I'm gonna drink myself halfway into a slow bus, delirious, but so I can just forget all these challenges and I can just forget my life for a little bit. The idea of life is not that you forget your life a little bit. And some of you are seeing how you've been holding on to things and maybe going distances that you didn't need to go to. But sometimes we need that experience to also realize that it's time to let certain things and certain people go and to value ourselves more. All right? We sometimes don't realize how much we can actually value ourselves until you become very clear of how you devalued yourself. All right? And as Maya Angelou says, when we know better, we do better. Let's see a final message here, what the universe has got for you before I end off on an oracle card. Yep, growing from strength to strength to strength. You want to open your mind, you know, if you are still on that idea that maybe I don't get things that are good for me, I never get the good stuff coming in life, you know, it's never going to work out for me, those are my dreams, but it's probably going to take so long, and it's going to be so difficult and so expensive and so exhausting. Remember that if that is what you are holding on to, then that is what you need to get. So imagine if you say to yourself, this is what I want. I may not see the solutions, but maybe it doesn't need to be that difficult. Maybe it can be easy. Imagine coming from that point. My goodness. All right. Let's see an oracle message that the universe has for you, beautiful Scorpio. I really hope that you're doing great, and I hope and pray and believe and claim and affirm that you are moving into amazing things that are beyond the ordinary. You are beyond the ordinary. And it's time for the world to see the amazing magic that you are, past fear, past suppression, past all of the difficult things that you needed to face. It's your time to shine brightly, and it's your time to shine right now. Okay, so that's what I got for you, beautiful Scorpio. I hope that helps. I will see you next time.